Thank you. It is 7:25. Time for part 2 of our chemistry segment. We're still working on the name.
That's right.
Casual Chemist, Chemist Corner.
I can come out in a robe.
Alchemy, is that what you said?
Alchemist.
That can be your alchemist. That can be your pseudonym. Anyway, this is Jesse Miller, all kidding aside, teaching lab specialist and REACT program director from the U of I, back for part 2 of our science segment, and we continue our discussion on density.
That's right. Now, this next one, this is something pretty cool that kids can do at home. Really easy. You get a ketchup packet from your favorite
Place.
McDonald's or wherever you want to go. There's one in there. Yep. Burger King. I don't want to do product placement.
Or that top drawer that you have like 6 or 8 of them laying in.
That's right. Now, the important thing about this is that the packet needs to float, because some of these won't. And so you just throw a handful, in some water and see if they float.
Okay.
If you don't have any that float, you can actually use salt water.
Okay.
And generally you can get them float in salt water. But anyway, you put it in a 2-liter bottle, you fill it all the way up to the top, you don't want any air on there. Mm-hmm. And then if you squeeze this...
I'm going to put it on the table so we can get a better shot of it. So
you squeeze that, what happens is that Pascal's law says that if you, any pressure felt on the surface of fluid is felt throughout. Mm-hmm. And so when you squeeze the bottle, it causes the ketchup packet to actually get smaller. And you reduce the volume for the same mass, you increase its density, and it sinks. You let go, it expands again, and it floats back up. Kids can do this for hours.
Yeah, that's very cool.
All right, so that's one. Another one I just found searching around looking for things to do on density. Mm-hmm. This one's kind of cool. This is just water and vegetable oil. The vegetable oil, of course, floats on top of the water because it's less dense.
Sure.
But if I add some salt to the vegetable oil, I will make the vegetable oil more dense, and it'll sink. And then the salt would rather be in the water, so to speak, than in the vegetable oil. And so the salt will leach out, and the vegetable oil will go back up. And you have kind of a pseudo lava lamp effect here. Oh,
cool. So, do we need to kill the lights again?
No, I don't think so. But as you can see, it's floating down, and then they come back up. I don't know. I just discovered this. This is pretty cool.
And I'm going to be entertained the rest of the morning during commercials. You got to leave all this stuff here for me to play with.
That's right. Now the last one, of course, everybody probably has boiled eggs all over the place at this point in the year. So I thought, well, I'd do something with an egg. Now, here, go for 2 for 3, maybe. Okay. Will this egg float or not? This is a hard-boiled egg, by the way.
Hard-boiled.
Not that it really matters, but this is a hard-boiled egg. Float. It floats. Okay. Well, if you have a regular egg that you get and it floats. It's probably bad because it's probably old. No, this should not float. It should take down at the bottom. Okay, if you get an egg and it floats, it's probably starting to rot.
Probably don't eat it. We'll see the ones at my house float because they've been there for a while, just hanging out because we made eggs early this year.
Okay, so it doesn't float in that, but if we make the water, the medium that it floats in, more dense, so this is saltwater solution. I just added some food coloring to it.
Oh, okay.
And so this is a much more dense fluid than regular water is, salt water is, and hopefully I made it dense enough to where this egg will float in...
Oh, it's trying.
The salt water.
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about floating.
Yeah, that's okay. Yes, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's the ticket. That's the ticket.
So, you can change the density of the object, or you can change the density of your medium, one of the two, in order to cause things to float. And if we had time, I was going to try to...
It's okay. We have about a minute. So.
Okay. Well, my boss, who's here, wanted me to make it float in the middle. And in order to do that, I'd have to get the salinity just right, which is kind of difficult to do. So what I thought I would do is I would cheat. And so I have the saturated salt solution on the bottom, and I'm going to try to pour some water on the top and get this to layer, if I can do this in the amount of time. Got to do it kind of slow, unfortunately.
It's okay.
Otherwise it mixes. And anyway, if I get the water, which is less dense than the salt water, will actually sit on top in a layer on top of the salt water, and eventually it'll mix. But if I do this slow enough to where you don't get a bunch of mixing just from me pouring the water in, I should be able to get a decent enough layer to where I can get this egg to float in the middle.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
It's all right. We got time.
Maybe that's enough.
Okay.
Let's see. If you look, well, you can't really see that close. There's a little bit. It's a little bit lighter.
You can tell. It kind of looks like
it's a little bit lighter. So
when you go to the ocean, you see.
We'll see if it comes back up into the middle and just stays right there at that stratification point.
Look at that.
All right, and you know, the kids can play with this kind of stuff at home and try to see what they can make things float and not float. You can use different types of oils. You can use.
Awesome.
There are some things that are heavier than water, like corn syrup, and you can get a whole layering effect. Cool. And pour some food coloring in
Endless
there and get
fun.
things to go. So yeah.
All right. Well, Jesse Miller, thank you very much. We'll put this online. You go to our website, IllinoisHomepage.net. Look under As Seen on 3. That's where all your segments are going to be. Thanks for being here. We'll see you again next time. All right.